What's up, everyone? Today we're making a super easy chocolate cake. So grab some milk and unsalted butter and let them come to room temperature. Oh, and don't forget 2 eggs. Grab a big bowl. It'll make mixing easier and keep things nice and tidy. Add 1 3/4 cups of flour, 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now sift it all together. The best part about this recipe, it's a total lifesaver when you're short on time or just not in the mood for complicated baking. Just mix it all together and you'll have a quick chocolate treat in no time. Next, add some sugar, just granulated white, and a pinch of salt. Mix everything together until it's well combined. While you're mixing, think about how nice it is to make something so simple yet so delicious. It's kind of like life. Sometimes the best things are the simplest. Now, let's prep the pan. Line the bottom of an 8-inch spring-form pan with parchment paper and grease it with butter. Make sure the parchment circle is a bit larger than the pan bottom, so it fills in the gaps and keeps the batter from leaking out. By the way, here's a quick and easy way to make a circle. Fold the parchment paper in half, and then fold it again. Next, fold it diagonally, and fold it diagonally one more time. This will give you a triangle shape. Position the tip at the center of the pan to check the size, then trim slightly beyond the radius. And just like that, you've got a perfect circle. Now, crack 2 eggs into the bowl. No shells, please, unless you're trying to add some extra crunch. Then add 2 ounces of unsalted butter, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil to keep it nice and moist, and of course milk. You can't go without it. At room temperature, just like butter. Oh, and a few drops of vanilla extract. And mix everything on low speed for about 2 to 3 minutes. By the way, melted butter works too. It blends in easier. But melting it sounded like way too much effort. Getting a bowl, melting it, then washing the bowl afterward. Yeah, no, thanks. Not today. So I just threw in a chunk. Now pour the batter into the pan. Yep, scrape it all out, guys. Every last drop. Pop it in the oven and let it bake for about 60 minutes. The cake will rise and probably crack, but don't worry, that's totally normal. Use a toothpick to check if the cake is ready. It should come out clean. If it doesn't, keep baking, checking every 5 minutes with the toothpick until it comes out clean. Take the cake out of the oven and let it cool for 10 minutes before you do anything else. Now run a knife around the edges, just to make sure the cake didn't stick to the sides of the pan. And carefully remove the cake from the pan. Transfer the cake to a cooling rack, a plate, or whatever you have, so it can cool to room temperature. Peel off the parchment paper, tuck the cake in plastic wrap, and let it rest in the fridge for 40 to 60 minutes. This will help the crust soften and become nice and moist. Meanwhile, let's make the frosting. In a bowl, add about 1/3 cup of powdered sugar and 4 ounces of mascarpone cheese. You can also use Philadelphia if you like. Beat on low speed for 2 to 3 minutes until you get a creamy, airy texture. I always love this part. There's something so satisfying watching the mixer turn simple ingredients into something smooth and creamy. Next, in a separate tall glass, pour in 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And beat the heavy cream as well. It's easier to do it in a tall glass since the amount isn't that big. Beat it for a couple of minutes on medium speed until it thickens and starts to form soft peaks. You'll notice it getting fluffier and creamier, just the way we want it. Add the whipped cream to the mascarpone and fold it in with a silicone spatula. Just look at how gorgeous this is. Too bad we can't just dive in and eat it straight from the bowl. Gotta save it for our cake, guys. By the way, what's your favorite frosting flavor? Drop your comments below, I'd really like to know. Now, carefully trim the top of the cake using a serrated knife. Just run it around the edges like we did in another video. Then slide the thread through for a clean cut. Just like that. Carefully remove the top. Don't worry if it breaks. Let's not cry over it, folks. And now we need to slice it in half. I'm using this cake cutting wire, or a cake leveler, I think it's called. But you can totally use a serrated knife and some thread. Now, to keep the top layer from breaking, I gently slide a piece of parchment paper between the two cake layers, so the top layer rests on the paper. Then, carefully lift it up and transfer it onto a plate or any flat surface you've got nearby. And simply remove the parchment paper from underneath the cake layer. Drop the frosting onto the first layer and spread it evenly across, using an offset spatula like you're some sort of sculptor or builder. Or, just use a knife, a spatula, or whatever else you've got within your arm's reach. Oh, it's so smooth. The frosting looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Then carefully place the second layer on top. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's make the ganache. Grab a bar of 70% dark chocolate and chop it up nice and fine. The smaller the pieces, the smoother it melts. Then pour 2/3 cup of heavy cream into a saucepan and heat it over low heat until bubbles start forming around the edges. Don't let it boil, guys, or you'll end up with grainy ganache. Turn off the heat, remove it from the stove, and pour the cream over the chocolate. Let it sit for a minute or two for the chocolate to melt. And now give it a good whisk to combine everything. Keep whisking until it's all blended together smoothly. You should end up with a smooth, silky ganache, just like this. And finally, pour the ganache over the cake. Look at how smoothly it flows. I can't wait to try this. Smooth the ganache over the cake. Just look at the way it shines. Absolute masterpiece waiting to be devoured. You can also spread it along the sides if you want to. Just make sure it's all nice and even. All right, folks, let's cut into this work of art. Look at the knife gliding through so effortlessly, so smoothly. Oh, such a perfect slice. You can already tell this is going to be pure heaven in every bite. Since I had a bit of ganache left, I'm just going to drizzle a little extra on this piece. All right, let's give it a taste because I'm about to flood the kitchen drooling over this cake. This is amazing. Just a few simple ingredients. Mix, bake, and you've got a rich chocolate cake to brighten your day and sweeten your life. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.